going to show you how to make mini apple tarts. Now, for this specific recipe, you are going to be working as a table. One pair is going to make the mini apple tarts, and then the other pair of your table is going to be making key lime tarts, and then you guys are all going to be sharing and observing each other in the process. But you don't know who's making what, so it's essential that you pay attention to my demo, because you may be making this, and we may make this again down the line for a catering event or whatnot. Okay? So let's get started. For time's sake, and because this is your first lab, you are going to be making, using store-bought pie crust just to save on time, or this lab will take us a long time. So your teacher will purchase pie crust, and if you're going to make this at home, this is just Jewel brand pie crust. You can also buy this in bulk. This specific one comes with 2 pie crusts. Each table or each pair at the table will get 1 individual pie crust, and that will be sufficient for making these little tarts. You're going to be making 12 tarts. So what you do, and this, you can also, if you're going to make this at home and your mom or dad or whoever has a really good pie crust recipe, you just need a single crust recipe for this lab. Okay, so you're just going to take this out. This is already pre-made, pre-rolled, and then they roll it up. But because it gets a pie crust is very, very delicate, when you unroll it, it could tear a little, not a big deal. Okay, so this is all ready to go. You don't need to put flour down or anything. You don't want to handle it too much either, okay? Then what you're going to do is you are going to be filling a mini muffin pan. I've already done some, just for time's sake. To do this, what you're going to do is you need a 3-inch round cutter. I'm just using a cheap little plastic cup. Your teacher will provide something for you. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to just press down and go back and forth, just as you would a cookie cutter, and you want them to be as close together as possible, okay? You may not get the perfect number of 12 from this first bout around, and if you don't, not a big deal, you'll just mash it up and then re-roll it. Oop. Okay, so then I'm just going to start taking these out, and then what you'll do is they will neatly just go right into there, like so, like I've already done, and then you're just going to press them in so they don't have any holes or bouts at the bottom that they could possibly leak, okay? And then you can press them down, leave them up, whatever you prefer, okay? So that is our crust. Now when I rolled these out, I had a little extra dough. Save it, because maybe another group they were too thin or too thick, whatever, so you may have extra dough. Don't throw it away, okay? All right, let's get started on what you're going to put into these yummy little tarts, okay? It's a cream cheese apple mixture, so we're going to start with the cream cheese part. For your filling, we are going to start with your cream cheese. I've already pre-measured these ingredients, so for the cream cheese, it calls for 2 ounces. You can do this using a scale, or they will probably be pre-cut for you, because when you cut cream cheese, it's like butter, where you can just cut it the 2 ounce, and that will be just perfect for that. So I already have my 2 ounces. I'm just going to put this right into a bowl. Okay. To that, I'm actually going to start whipping this. I'm going to use a wire whisk. And as it's all clumping up, that's fine. Just to bring it to room temperature. When I start adding in my other ingredients, it will come out. It'll be fine. To that, I'm going to add 1 egg, which I've already broke and put into a little cup. And you're going to beat that just till mixed. Ooh, and I got a little egg on my cutting board. That's not good. Probably going to want that in there, but that's okay. I'm just going to take some of this and smash it out. A little sticky. Okay, and that's just incorporated. Then I'm going to add in my sugar. I need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, which I've already pre-measured. Remember from Culinary Basics, brown sugar is a packing sugar. I'm just going to mix this in. It's going to melt right into that mixture, dissolve. Let's get this stuff out. Fork. Okay. And then to that, we're also going to add 1 tablespoon of flour. And this is just going to kind of hold the mixture all together and provide a little bit of structure. Not a lot. And then we're also, for flavor, going to add a little bit of cinnamon. This recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon, measured with the dry measuring spoons. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, also measured with the dry measuring spoons. Mix that up. Once that's mixed up, we're just going to set this off to the side. And now I'm gonna show you how you're gonna prep your apples. Now I have, as you saw when I was mixing this, it was all clunked up in there, and that's probably going to happen. So I've gotten it all off using my fork, and I've just mixed this all together till it's all combined, and it should look like so. So this is good to go. Okay. Now we're gonna prep our apples. Okay. Your recipe calls for 2 Granny Smith apples. Depending on what equipment you have in class, just for time's sake, I used just a regular vegetable peeler to get the skin off. You can use an apple peeler or a slicer, whatever you have. Okay, but make sure it gets peeled. And then I'm going to do just a fine little chop. I'm just going to cut around my core, like so, just to get the flesh of the apple. I'm just going to line 2 of these up and do a quick slice. And then the other way for a nice little chop. So this is just like a rough chop. I'm going to go back through at the end and do a little bit of a fine chop. I'm going to do these 2. Line this all back up together. So that one wasn't as neat, but that's okay. Go back through, like so. Put them all together. I'm going to do a fine chop, which is just like almost like a mince, but not as small. But it's okay if they're not all the same. Like it doesn't have to be a dice. If you really want to, work on your knife skills, you can do a dice. But again, you only are going to have a short period of time to be working on this. Use your knife to guide. And then that all off. I'm going to do one more quick chop through. And we are good to go. I'm going to put this right in my bowl with my other apple that I've cut. Remember, you're going to be cutting 2. Just pre-cut one for time's sake. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add your cream cheese mixture right into here. Okay, I'm just going to mix it up to make sure the apples are just saturated with that mixture and mixed in. You wouldn't want a dry piece of apple for your filling. Just wouldn't taste as good. Okay, so we're all mixed up. I'm going to set this off to the side before I spoon it, because now we're going to make a streusel topping. I've already pretty much made the streusel topping for you. In the streusel topping, I've mixed together 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of flour, and then 1½ teaspoons of butter. And then it's just going to look like so. This has been at room temperature, so it's a little moist. It's very mashy, mushy, and that's absolutely fine because it's just going to melt into the topping of your little tarts. Okay, so now let's start assembling. Okay, for this, you're going to put about a tablespoon or so into each of the little muffin tarts that you've already put your dough in. You're just going to spoon it in like that. I'm going to do 2, and I'll show you with the topping. You don't want them to be too heaping because they overflow. It's not as visually appealing when they come out, and you want these to look nice, especially if we are going to be doing these for a catering event, or a dessert catering event. Then, I'm going to take a little bit of this. You're just going to pack this right on, like so. And then when this cooks, it's going to get a little crunchy and be a nice little topping for these apple tarts. And just make sure, you'll do the topping at the end. Make sure each tart gets about equal amount of the topping. And then you're going to put these in the oven and bake them at 375 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes depending, until golden brown is what you're looking for. I'll show you them when they're complete. Thank you. Hello, here I've just taken out our apple tarts out of the oven. They're golden brown. You should be, once they've cooled, you should be able to take them out just like so for easy cleanup, and then present, eat, enjoy. Thank you.